Hey everyone, welcome to Beach Investing. I'm your host, Andre Angelkowski. We're here with the renovation specialist, Jeff Reed. How are you?
Hi, Andrew.
So this is the first time that we're with Jeff as he's actually liquidating one of his properties. He tends to hang on to them, even though he intends to flip them, but you actually hang on to them because they're cash flowing so well. But this is one of the first ones in the last 3 years that you're actually selling. And what I wanted to share with the viewers is your story, your successes and challenges with this property over the last 3 years.
Sure.
So tell us. Start off with, you bought it 3 years ago, $300,000, and today you sold it for what?
$644.
Okay. So it's $350,000 more than what you bought it for.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, how much did you put into it in terms of renovations?
$170,000, and obviously being a general contractor, I didn't have to pay for any contractor.
Okay, so general market value of this renovation would have been over 200 though?
Probably 210, 220.
Okay.
Yeah.
And but can you tell us a little bit about your numbers and your profit?
So we haven't got the final numbers from the accountant, but it looks like over 3 years it's going to be a profit of 150 grand. 150
grand?
Yeah, plus the rental income.
Okay.
In the last couple of years.
So we're in November right now, so what are you going to do for the next couple of months?
Probably going to take a little hiatus.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's one of the benefits of being in real estate, have the option of whether or not you want to work. And so take a little bit of a break and maybe get some sun.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so some of the successes. What was the biggest success of this, aside from the $150,000 profit? You rented it out for 3 months, for 3 years?
So before we finished the reno, we rented it out on a 2-year lease, and a lady came in and had slightly damaged credit, and so she offered to put up 1 year up front for rent, and so she paid over $40,000 up front, which was nice. And so she stuck around for a while, and they installed a $10,000 shed in the backyard, which they left behind, which was nice. A big 10-foot by 16-foot shed, which is really helpful for storing the furniture if you're not going to be renting furnished or something. And so after we finished, we refinanced, paid for the construction costs, and 1 year later I refinanced again. And in the first year we pulled out, it appreciated $60,000, so about 10% of the value of the property. And we managed to pull out $48,000 on refi, which I put into my pocket. And so that was nice to have at the time. And successes, when we were renting, things that I would do again, the most popular thing about this house is it's got the entrance to the basement. And so I could rent this as a single family or a dual family. And I put a fire door in between on a closure device, and that made it very recession proof. So if I had to rent in the middle of winter, then I could rent the whole house at a discounted price. Or if the leases ended up in the summer, then I charge a good premium. And we're renting the upstairs 3-bedroom for $2,700, and the downstairs went from anywhere from about $1,100 to $1,500. And so cash flows, if I recall, fluctuated in between $1,000 and $1,500 per month net after all expenses. And so that was nice income to add to the portfolio. I think we're capable of doing that on quite a few of the houses here in East York and the beaches in East Toronto. And the other things that were popular that the people liked while they were living here is all of the floors in the house are heated with water, hydronic. And so each floor has its own independent thermostat, so the climate in the house is really, really nice. I think that they really appreciated the gas fireplace and the custom kitchen. You can identify a custom kitchen by the fridge is installed and fits well and integrates well into the same depth as the cabinetry. And you've got a couple of nice fancy hood fans and things like that. And so this is actually a kitchen that I got out of another job. And out of a house in Rosedale, brand new kitchen, and we reinstalled it in here in the basement. And so it ended up being a $40,000 kitchen that we got for next to nothing. So yeah, and so the people that have lived here have enjoyed it. The other things that we did is we fenced in the backyard so that it's good for dogs and our animals, pets, and so that the pets can't get out, and that's really popular in this area. And so So the new purchasers have got a turnkey rental. So they just walk in, rent it, and their cash flows right off the bat.
Well, that's what the buyers did end up really liking about the property, is that it was turnkey. In fact, the buyers walked into the open house not really expecting to see what they saw, but they were coming in here potentially wanting to buy it for themselves for personal use, but ended up seeing the numbers, the attractiveness of the demand that Jeff was getting, and they ended up actually buying it as an investment property. Some of the big things that I see that you've done that really touches on the main added value stuff are lighting, very, very elegant kitchen, great flooring. One thing I do want to talk about the flooring though, even though it's heated, it looks like hardwood floors, but it's not.
No, this is a laminate. The one thing that feels nice about this laminate is it's actually a glue down. So it doesn't squeak or creak or anything like that, and the heat comes up nicely through the laminate, through the glue.
Okay. Some of the other things I'd like to mention is when we go downstairs to the basement, we'll show you. But before we go down there, what were some of the challenges or some of the things that you would maybe do differently if you redid this?
Mm-hmm. At the time when we built this, of course, when you start out in your investing career, money is everything. And in hindsight, I didn't change out any of the windows in the property. I probably could have done it for between $6,000 and $8,000. And I noticed that they weren't fantastic when it comes to heat loss because they're older windows. And when we had it on the market, when we were selling, the people were asking, how come you did a beautiful job on everything else, why didn't you upgrade the windows? And so in hindsight, I think I would have replaced all the windows. It's a small price to have a completely polished house. And that's primarily the main thing. It's been a great property to have in the portfolio, and selling it just creates an opportunity for bigger and better projects.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Another thing I'd like to show you guys is that ensuite laundry.
Yes, and then the powder room on the main floor was pretty popular with tenants too.
Powder room, ensuite laundry, great. And now we're going to head downstairs and show you. So we're here now in the basement, and what I'd like to kind of show you guys is a couple of things. One is you see this bench right here, and you'll see all along the perimeter of the basement. Jeff, why is that?
We excavated, but not a lot, and so we did a bench footing around the perimeter, and we just integrated it into some seating, and at the time we had some throw cushions on top of here. All of the units that I renovated have 7-foot ceilings, and so it wasn't necessary to underpin in order to get that, because the footing, the height of the underside of the footing was pretty close to 7 foot. And so the engineer did want us to put a slight bench around there, which we just covered up with wood and drywall and blended into the wall.
Okay. And the heating system. The furnace is in this little room right here?
So this is the furnace room. This is the entire furnace room for the whole house. And it's about 18 inches by 4 feet. And this is what's called a combo unit. And so that's your domestic water for cleaning and doing dishes and showers and whatnot, as well as the heat system. You can see the pipes that go into the concrete floor here, and that heats the house. So there's no rads. All of the heating goes into the concrete floor, and every floor has its own zone, and it's on a thermostat like this one over here.
Okay, I see a slight downside. No ductwork means no air conditioning.
So in the basement, in this area, we don't need any air conditioners. So we do have a ductless air conditioner on the top floor.
Okay, that's
plenty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another thing I'd like to show you is ensuite laundry for every single unit. And I'm sure all the tenants have saw this and they were like, thank you.
Yeah, it's really popular. This basement was rented to a couple from Russia when we had it furnished. And they didn't want to be taking their laundry down to the end of the street, and so I come over sometimes to visit them for dinner and whatnot. They'd have a little bit of laundry going, and they just shut the closet and you couldn't hear it.
And then you have the same kitchen cabinets from upstairs, the same kitchen from upstairs?
Yep.
So you were able to integrate it into this kitchen. You still have granite countertops?
Yeah, granite throughout. All of the vanities and all the kitchens granite.
So these are some of the reasons why you're able to attract a premium rent.
Yeah.
So just some tidbits there for you guys as to how we're getting these rents. Well, we provide quality, and with quality comes premium rents. Any last words before you hit the road and hit the flight to a 2-month getaway in your winter excursions?
Enjoy work.
Thanks, buddy. Congratulations.
Thanks. See you later.
See you guys.
Bye now.
Hey, Jeff, what did you want to show us?
Look, we spent all that time doing videos inside and talking about money for you. You never showed off these seats. I spent hours, you know, this is finished carpentry. I went to school for this, you know. These are nice seats. What's wrong with these seats?
You know what, Jeff? They're actually perfectly fine. Why don't you just go on your 2-month vacation and just like this?
I want to talk about me for a second. Look, we spent all this time. The tree was here first. We cut the deck, you know. You always talk about money. You never talk about. We work hard, you know.
Jeff, just go on vacation. You need a good vacation.
You know, I'm bringing you down south, and you're going to be doing some movies down there this winter.
I certainly hope so.
See you next time.